town, the head hillbillies are making their rounds. Small town whispers loud and clear. The sheriff shot the judge in his chambers chair.
Sheriff got a secret he won't keep. Judge shot dead in his disbelief. A lot of people have some stories to tell. Dark pass away, get the sound of a shotgun shell.
All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Neighbors hide behind their blinds. Whisper tales of troubled minds. Skeletons covering the mountainside. A treacherous reality in the pines.
Winter reveals the hidden lies. Moonlight couldn't match the cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise. All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be
Winter reveals the hidden lie. Moonlight could mask their cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise.
all the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Good evening, everybody. Hello. Welcome in. My name is Elizabeth, and this is Hillbilly Crime. How is everybody? So, I guess everybody is for sure keeping up with the Nancy Guthrie case. Man, oh man, you guys. What in the world is going on? Now, I have to say right up front, I was wrong. My gut was wrong, but we didn't have all the information. So, as of tonight, law enforcement has not released an update timeline that includes the FBI video, the new FBI video. We are piecing this together from what's been confirmed, but the agencies themselves have not explained how this masked individual fits into the sequence of events. So, if you are just joining us and you don't really know what we are talking about, we have got some new video. We've got the new video. We've got the pictures. This here is one of the still photos that shows Nancy Guthrie's front porch. Let's kind of go ahead. How is everybody? Kentucky Annie says, isn't that masked man creepy? Wow. It's just shocking to me. I was not expecting this. But now let me say one thing about it. Well, I better not. Let's not say that. What do you think? What do you guys think that they have not released about them not releasing an updated timeline yet? What are they holding back? Or what are they trying to avoid? Because they've been updating, they've been coming out and doing all these pressers. They've been keeping everybody really, really informed on this case, which is not usually what they do. So let's see. How is everybody? Welcome in. Charlie, my real, well, bless you, honey. Bless you, bless you, bless you. We plead the blood over, honey. We plead the blood. Little tiny dancer in my head, Elton John song. Well, all right, all right, all right. I'm glad everybody's here tonight. Listen, tell us your theories. Don't be shy. Jump in the live chat. Tell us what you're thinking. Philip says that the FBI was looking at neighbor's phone today. She was showing, well, and something else that just came out. This just popped out before right as I was getting ready to come on the show. Let me pull this little video up. One thing that was popping off right before showtime was this. It's a little bit something that we've not seen. This was just talked about. The SWAT came out. Their SWAT vans. They loaded them down and they were headed out. They were seen heading out. That's in Pima County. Let me get our video from the porch. We've got the doorbell camera. So let's watch this. We've got a couple. So here is the video of him on the front porch. Look at this. It's just so odd, isn't it? He looks young to me, guys. He looks very young. He looks like maybe he is a young adult, but just the way that his body, the way that the way he moves. See there, he's trying to not be seen, right? He's got his head pulled down, trying not to be seen. Philip, now they have a pic of a man at Nancy's door with a hoodie mask. Yes, this is him. At the time, yes, this is him. So this is Nancy's front porch. Oh, Marnie said SWAT was dispatched somewhere else. Okay, well, good deal. I hadn't heard where they were dispatched. I didn't know that had been even released. Where? So thank you. You guys, this is our crowdsourced show. We bring a little information from everywhere. Yes, something else. Thank you, Marnie, for reminding me. They are also going door to door in Annie's neighborhood, which, that is just, that's police work 101, right? You see that on TV. We know that that's how that works. If something happens, what's the first thing they should be doing? They should go door to door to every home in the area, in the neighborhood, asking them if they saw anything, asking them if they heard anything, asking them if they have cameras, if they would mind to check their camera and see if they caught something from that night. You never know. One of the other big things, where'd he come from? Did he drive there? I don't think so. I think that backpack tells us a lot. So let's look at my next graphic here. The red arrows, I kind of went ahead and threw us together a good graphic for tonight. What do you all think? And looking at this photograph, you see the arrows? Well, something that I thought was interesting, and I wanted to point it out. So if you look at the lantern up on the porch, the light, it's not on, it's off. So there's no porch light on at this time. He has a backpack on. He's wearing a backpack. Now that is where we have to ask, could he have come through the desert? Was he dropped off somewhere else? Did he walk there? So if he did, where are the the surrounding properties? Could someone have caught him on camera somewhere else at somebody else's property close by? This is how, they're going to be backtracking, trying to backtrack his steps. It also makes me wonder, what if the sheriff, like, it was kind of like at first, like, well, we've done all we can do. Do, 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 do. Smick says there's a lot of AI stories out on Facebook. One said that they had arrested Annie G. Well, that's a really great point. I am glad that you mentioned that, Smick, because there are a whole lot of stories and videos and pictures. And so I think that it's really important for us to go back here and look and see where this came from. So this came directly from the FBI director, Kash Patel. Might need to follow that guy there. Excuse me. I will go ahead and push that follow button while we are here. So additional recovered footage, excuse me, guys, from the same camera at the same timeline, the morning of Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. This footage is just before the original video shared with the individual approaching Nancy Guthrie's front door. So this is it's just 3 little seconds. You see his lights. He's got lights on his shoulders. He's got a headlight on his head. I think that pretty much tells us, yeah, he's come through the desert. He's been walking. He wouldn't have all that on if he didn't. Now, how did he get her out of there? Where did he take her? And something else I wondered. Was there any proof? Was there any way other than just Annie's word or anybody else's word that they took her home that night? We know that the Uber driver dropped her off at Annie's house for dinner. We've also been told that then Annie, or was it Annie? Do you all know? Did they say it was her specifically that dropped her off? And I also wondered about church. You know, they said that she was big, she never missed church. Where would someone have where would someone have gotten opportunity to her, or the opportunity to get to know her? How would anybody have gained access? There we go. That's the right word. How would anybody have gained access to Nancy, to even know who she was? How active was she in her community? They said she was very active in her community or in her church. And so, we just don't know. All right, so here are the confirmed gaps and in the timeline. Wait a minute. Let me pull that back down. I meant to go up and look at the other video. Sorry, I got ahead of myself there. We want to go look at the original video that they were saying. So here we have the first still that Patel put out. And that way, taking these right from Kash Patel's X account, we know that they're not AI generated. They came straight from the FBI. New images in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Over the last 8 days, the FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department has been working closely with our private sector partners private sector. I think that's important. So that means they have reached out to private companies and private entities that are not government. Super, super important. To recover, because that's who did this, to recover any images or video footage from Nancy's home that may have been lost, corrupted, or inaccessible due to a variety of factors, including the removal of recording devices. So we've heard that the camera was taken off of the wall there at the front door. That's what they mean. Camera's gone, the device is gone, but they got the video. The video was recovered from residual data located in back-end systems. We don't hear it said that way very often, do we? Have you all ever heard of it called or said that way? I sure haven't. Let's see. It says, working with our partners as of this morning, law enforcement has uncovered these previously inaccessible new images showing an armed individual appearing to have tampered with the camera at Nancy Guthrie's front door the morning of her disappearance. And it shows, we're going to watch that video. Here's another still of him that they've taken. And if you notice those gloves, those are rich people gloves, y'all. Those are rich people gloves. What else is he wearing? He's wearing a balaclava. He is wearing a balaclava. Most people don't wear those. So that means that this was very intentional. Here he is. Let's watch this video together. It's just so odd, isn't it? just odd. Hillbilly Crime Time. Which background do you guys like the best? Our original one. I'm kind of partial to it. I don't know if it's because we've just had it for so long. But I kind of like that one the best. The system knows it's us. So, all right. So the exact missing element. Let's talk about some of the missing elements that we don't know. HB Sue, Miss Sue says, I read that the son-in-law owed millions in gambling debts to a casino in Mexico. Wow. I've been so busy working. I have not been scouring the internet for all of this stuff. So the only things that I really have are from the FBI, stuff like that. So if any of you guys have any juicy details, make sure that you put them in the chat for us. It's a mouth guard attachment. I've used something similar while early morning fishing. Well, I wonder what are you talking about? I think he was working for someone else. He's job just to her, Nancy. I don't know. So glad that the FBI got involved in this case. They have been all over it. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Imagine if they hadn't, though. Imagine if they had just stayed in the background and allowed the locals to continue with what they were doing. Smick says, I think the guy was stupid not to know the cameras wouldn't be traced. Well, what does he look like to you guys? To me, he doesn't look like he's in a panic. He doesn't look. I've been wondering, I said this the other night. Don't get mad at me. It feels like something is just off. Like, is this a publicity stunt? Like, could there be some kind of a publicity? Look how big this has gotten. Now, I would feel really, I feel bad now. I feel bad just thinking, could it be? We sure ain't accusing nobody of nothing. But could there be a little something about this that just ain't on the up and up? Like, could this have been planned? Like, was it a plan to get all this media attention and get all this on there? And then Miss Nancy's going to come walking back in home. I mean, that's the best case scenario. We hope Miss Nancy comes home. She, all that blood that was on the porch. Remember all the blood that was on the porch. And look at him. He just does not seem to me like someone who is nervous about getting caught. I mean, he's looking around, but he just seems like he knows. He's very intentional. He seems like he knows where the camera's at. So he's been there before. You can tell that he knows that camera is there before he even walks up onto the porch. He's got his head down. See, he just looks out there that one time. He's not, keeping a watch. Let's put this back up. And y'all tell me. Okay, so he's got his balaclava. So that shows that he's very intentional. He's not letting anything be seen. Nothing. You can't see his hair. You can't see if it's long. You can't see if it's short. You can't see his eyes. You can't see his eyebrows. you can't see what I saw several people say it looked like he had a mustache, but you can't really tell that. The gloves and the jacket. The jacket looks kind of okay, anybody could have that. The gloves just seem very richy to me. They don't scream dollar store gloves, which, I'd say the average person probably buys stuff like that, the gloves but who knows? I don't know. You could get them at the secondhand store for free, and then they'd be richy gloves. So who knows? Let me remove this one. Remember this picture. Remember Nancy. Remember all the blood on the front porch, right? Where did it come from? Well, DNA says it came from Nancy. So this is the front porch. This is the area where we see that masked gunman or masked man. We don't see a weapon. We don't see a weapon. Where would that blood have come from? It's just very, very interesting. Rosina, but why aren't they searching all the land behind Nancy's house? They still haven't searched all the ground. Well, and they didn't put any lights out that first night because of the light pollution. They do not have light, or they don't have lights and stuff because of night pollution. Well, was that a misstep? Miss Marnie says Nancy's pacemaker connected to her phone and Apple Watch. So she did get dropped off. All right. Phone and Apple Watch. Well, I have questions about that still. If she would have had her phone and her Apple Watch with her, if her watch is on, say her watch is on her wrist, her phone is in her purse, does that pacemaker connect to it anytime it just gets out of reach? Or was it a connection like every so often, or if there is a rhythmic event or any kind of event, would it send some kind of a connection or some kind of a notice or something? Like, they haven't really told us exactly what that is, that connection was. Like, they haven't went into specific detail about that. Like, they've told us little bit, but they haven't really told us all the details. So I'm still on the fence about that one. I don't, and so if she went over to Annie's for dinner, she went without her phone? See what I mean? She would have went over there without her watch and without her phone, just by herself, her body. And then whenever they dropped her back off, her thing connected to it because of the distance away from the phone and the watch. See what I mean? Why would she go without her phone? Nobody goes nowhere without their phone. Marnie, Nancy was supposed to go to a friend's to watch church online and did not show up. Yeah, thank you. That was another thing that had me a little bit confused at the beginning, because I thought that I was assuming she just didn't go to church physically, but that wasn't it. Miss Nancy didn't attend church physically. She attended online. Somebody said it was due to COVID. Ever since COVID had happened, she had gotten into that routine. Miss Cindy, hello, darling. I ain't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Pacemaker disconnected at 2 a.m. Miss Kentucky Annie, someone paid this man to do this. Well, they could have. She had a pool person, I'm sure, a housekeeper, etc. That's a really, really good point. She does have a swimming pool, so she would have a maintenance person. Absolutely. Miss Debbie, they could recognize her from being on the Today Show with her daughter. Well, and I would say everybody in that area knows that she's Savannah Guthrie's mom. I would say that they are both very local, famous people, locally famous, so everybody knows who they are. Knowing who people are and having actual access to them, though, are two different things, I think it's a young person. I just think by the way his body language and stuff is, by the way he's moving, by the way he moves, I just feel like he's walking and bending over, and just the way that he moves, he just seems like a young person. The way that he steps, the way that he walks. Look at those gloves. Yeah, and the jacket too. And I would say Arizona. I don't know that terrain or that environment, but they say in the winter, in the summertime, even it gets cold at night. Well, I don't know about summer, but out there it gets really cold at night. And this is February. Let's see. Okay, so let's look at the gaps and the contradictions that we see so far. The missing element. What is missing? Well, the exact time that the masked suspect showed up on the porch, we don't know that exact time. They've not released that yet. Why that matters? Well, the FBI released these images, but they didn't release the timestamps to them. We don't know if it was before or after Nancy had vanished. That's a good point. We don't know. They did not give us timestamps with these photos and videos. The camera footage between 1:47 and between 2:12 a.m. We don't have that footage between 1:47 and 2:12. Why does that matter? Well, the camera was disconnected at 1:47 a.m., but motion was detected at 2:12 a.m., but no videos exist of that. So that's a very big that's a big point that we need to keep our eyes on. What happened between that time, that period of time, between 1:47 when the camera was disconnected and 2:12 when the motion was detected. Another missing element, how the FBI recovered the footage. They said it came from residual back-end data. What does that mean? But they didn't explain how or why it was missing. Residual back-end data. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Miss Marnie, I heard she had roofers there recently. Her roof was very clean. And remember, they were just up on the roof, weren't they? Weren't they just up on the roof the other day? Said there was a camera up there? Didn't somebody say there was a camera on the roof? Smick says, I heard a doc say it didn't disconnect at 2 a.m. The pacemaker downloads at 2 a.m. her daily tracing. Well, see, that's what I was meaning. Do we know about the time, what the details are of that connect or disconnect of her pacemaker earlier that evening when allegedly she was brought home? Is that if that data with her pacemaker, her phone, and her Apple Watch if that is all we have, that's all the proof that we have that she was brought home, I would say that could be manipulated somehow. I would say that it could be. I don't see why it couldn't be. Another missing element to this case, the suspect vehicle, or what escape route did he take? There are no vehicles seen, so that tells me that he walked there. He hoofed it. He hoofed it through the desert. And you know how many people are out there hoofing around nowadays? There's so many people coming across the border down there. You've got so many people out there in that desert. That would terrify me. There's no vehicle seen. There's no tire tracks anywhere that have been reported or released that we know of. Sure haven't seen, and I'd say with all the media that's been down there, if they would have seen tire tracks, they would have been out there making dyes and casts and doing all that, making getting the evidence collected, the tire tracks collected, and we've not heard one word from any of the media seeing them do that. They've got I know Brian Enton and them have a drone that they've been putting up in the air a lot. So if they were out, we saw them the other night searching the manholes in the septic systems, looking for her. Did not find her, of course. Thank you, Jesus. But man, oh man. Let's see. I had another one. Here's one. I just think it's odd. There's an up close look at his eyes. Miss Sue says, I wonder if there was any sound. It's a good question. Smick says that's a professional. Could be. Could be. Philip says, I bet she's in a mine shaft. Well, you just never know. The flowers. Yep. He was putting the flowers up there. All right. We'll take that down. There was a couple. Oops. Put this thing in my, I guess I could just move it. A little crazy. That's a little crazy. All right, here's this. This was the video. Bomb squad command center vehicles roll out from Pima County Sheriff's parking lot. There you see the big dog going out. They don't usually take that big dog. Oh, thank you, Marnie. Wow. Um, wow. All right, let me read this. Oh, well, that doesn't say anything. It just has the video on that one. Doesn't have any text. Let's see. Horrifying video of armed Nancy Guthrie suspect breaking in on night of the kidnapping. Now, this here says that he was armed. I was looking to see if I could tell if he looked like he was armed. Let me pull up a picture. Does that look like that's somebody's generated that. Now, I wondered if that was a gun there in his pants, in the front of his pants. Does that look like one? Let's see. Marnie, can you send those to my messenger? And I can get them up that way. If you'll send them to my messenger where they're on my phone, I can't send them to myself to get them up on the screen. There's a couple pictures. Marnie said that you can see the weapon there in front. All right, this guy was armed, gun in front holster, which is odd. Well, that's what I wondered, if that's what that was. I couldn't really tell. I couldn't really tell. I'm not much of a carrier, so I wouldn't notice. I wouldn't notice. Let's see. Here's another picture. Now, this is one of the Tommaso guy. And I don't think it's him. I do not think that that's him. Do you? Do you guys think that that's him? Smick says that was a Glock, FBI said. Oh, Miss Lori says, as an older woman, this is terrifying. It is. It is. And then, where'd the blood come from? Where did that blood come from? They said that that she took blood thinners. Well, how many of you guys take blood thinners? I don't. So I don't know what blood thinners do. I have heard that they make you bleed a lot, and it's hard to get your blood to clot then. When you're on blood thinners. So if you get cut or if you get hurt, it's really, really bad. It ends up being really, really bad for some people. Now, I was also looking at the blood drops. I have a few other better pictures of them, I think. Let me pull them down. I think I got a better one of the blood droplets. But I was thinking about them, and, you can kind of tell how or where someone is standing, or, whatever, by the way that the droplets kind of hit. Like if it's a blood splatter, or if you're standing over top and it's just dropping straight down, or if somebody just does like this, cast off. There's all different ways of identifying it to be able to tell, how it got there. Now, I sure ain't no blood splatter expert or nothing. But us true crimers have kind of seen a lot of this stuff. Here it is. I knew I did. So you kind of see how the blood is dropped there. Now this little bit right here, I need to circle it. I'm gonna I'll get me a picture that and put a circle on it. Right there in front of the window, it's kind of darker. That looks to me like it's more like splatter. That looks to me. Now, like I said, I ain't no expert in nothing like that. So, but it just where it's got more littler droplets, a bunch more little droplets, as opposed to these much bigger ones out beside of it. It looks different. Hello, Miss Cindy. Good evening. Popping in to see what you guys have figured out so far. We ain't figured out much. But we are staying on it. And last night I was talking about the power, Kentucky Power, our series that we're going to do on that. And I was like, we can't do a show on Nancy Guthrie every night. Well, insert foot, Miss Crystal. You might have to help me dislodge this giant foot out of my mouth. Oh, those are mechanic gloves. Nitrile. Oh, well. Interesting. Interesting. Crystal says, I agree. It does look different. Margaret. Hello, Miss Margaret. I seen it today on the news. Philip says a robber. Now, that's true. This could just be a robber. Who thinks that, though? Who thinks that this is just random robber versus a targeted attack? Let's see. So there was no vehicle seen. There's no tire tracks. There's no neighbor footage, which is very, very odd. We know, let me show you guys what that territory looks like. Here we have an aerial view that shows you what he had to have come through. Now, he could have parked his car way down the road somewhere. I mean, the way that this looks, you've just got a major highway or road that runs through the desert. And it looks like you have houses just as far as the eye can see. Man, that's beautiful, isn't it? Sheesh, man, I want to travel so bad. I'd love to see something other than Kentucky. One day, y'all, me and Sweet Tater's going to take off in an RV. We're going to have Hillbilly Crime hits the road. Oh, I can't wait. We'll have Sweet Tater back there picking her banjo while I'm driving that big old school bus. I can't wait. We're going to outfit it with cameras in the front and in the back. We'll drive around the country. You watch. I cannot wait. Oh, okay. Smick says, those that knows weapons, does a Glock make a small entrance so person doesn't bleed much? Well, and that question is a really good question. But with her blood thinners, would it matter? If she's on them blood thinners, would that matter? I don't know. I'd say she would bleed a whole lot more than that if she was shot. But you never know. Second beach cow. Love you, honey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, we have our goal up, you guys. Thank you all for being here. Please, if you like the work that we do, we have got a goal for 10 $5 supers, $5 stickers, memberships, gift memberships, whatever you want to do. I want to see that confetti. Confetti. We haven't seen that confetti in about a year. Get that confetti going one of these days. The Lord will let us see it. Oh, I've got I've got green lights all over my ceiling right now. It made me think about Arizona stars. Okay. How did the suspect arrive and how did he leave? And where did he put Nancy? There's no way that you cannot tell me that that boy who we were just looking at, he does not look like a big, strong man. To me, he looks like a boy. A younger person, maybe not a boy, but like, look at the way his legs are. He just looks like a younger person to me. Forced entry confirmation. Now, somebody had mentioned forced entry at the presser, and the sheriff said, oh, I don't know what y'all are talking about. We haven't discussed that. We haven't confirmed it nor denied it. Don't know where that's coming from. Well, now we've got confirmation. Blood was confirmed on the porch, and the back door, from what I think, or at least I think it was confirmed, said that the back door was kicked in. So we've got that piece. Another missing element. The pacemaker disconnect cause. Well, they've not really said that. They've not told why. If they know, they've not told it. Nancy's pacemaker disconnected from her phone at 2:28 a.m. No explanation given. That was what I was saying. We don't necessarily know the details. We don't know, and we don't know what the details were from that connection earlier that evening. The ransom note. Here's the big part that I just don't get. Now, I said the other night, maybe it's not even connected. Maybe somebody was just heard the missing, who it was, put it together, thought that they would get them an opportunity. You know, just somebody picking up on the opportunity to scam. I don't think so. No. Not after we see this balaclava. This looks to me like either a real kidnapping and ransom or a fake kidnapping and ransom. I mean, to me, it's one of the two. I don't know. And I could be wrong on everything. You never know. But the FBI confirmed the notes, but they have not said how they were sent. You had the news people, TMZ. Now, TMZ said that theirs was like a form. So you had to go in to the website, and there was like a form that you had to fill out, like a contact form. Now, they are the only ones that, and I heard them say that. So they are really the only ones that have come out and said how their note was delivered. Other than that, nothing. Proof of life, communication, or any kind of communication channel. There's been no follow-up from the alleged kidnappers. There's no way to respond to the ransom notes other than what we have seen with the videos of Savannah and her sister and her brother. Let's see.
Desperation. And we need your help.
I don't think that was it. I don't think he now this was let me show my screen here. I'm going to show you over on X. Somebody else had posted this. DeFi Dino. This is definitely some internet investigation from my phone, but I was looking at mugshots from the area over the last 12 months, and the closest looking person I could find was this guy. Already a big chance it's the wrong guy based on that. So then I double checked to see if he was locked up still or released, and it looks like he was released in May of 2025. Then I wanted to see if his home was close to the victim. It was about 20 or 30 minutes from the crime scene in Green Valley, Arizona, down Highway 19. If I had to guess, and I'm totally wrong, but it might be worth double checking on this guy. Now, here's a photo. Let me go see if Marnie sent me those. Yes, thank you, Marnie. So here is an let me get these. A couple of photos that people had put together and I guess enhanced them. AI colorized the photos because everyone is so mystified. It says, well, that's what I was saying. What if this was all made up for some other reason other than just money? Like something, I don't know what it is, but there's something going off. My red flags and my spidey senses are going haywire. But I can't put my finger on what's going on. I just don't know. Very, very. Look there. Does that show? Do you think that that is AI generated? Or do you think that that's real? I don't know. Could that be? He'd be awful stupid, wouldn't he? To have a mustache? Wouldn't he be stupid? To show up with the mustache underneath there? I would be shaving my head. I'd be shaving my eyebrows. I'd shave everything off, every hair off my arms. I'd shave my legs. Miss Pamela Green. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would be shaving everywhere. You would not find a hair on my body nowhere. Not if I was going to do something like this. No way. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Lori. To take an elderly woman, but to take I know. Why would you take an elderly woman? And she can't walk. Remember, she can't walk without a cane. What if they tried to make her go? What if he tried to make her leave with him and she said, no, I'm not going. And he used a little bit of force. And the next thing you know, that little bit of force was a little too much. Crystal, Smick's still stuck on the gloves. It's easy to get stuck on this case, man. So easy to get stuck. All right, and then here is this other picture that they enhanced. Somebody did. We don't know who. Very interesting. I don't think that balaclava that he's got on is necessarily it just seems to me like it looks like is that on? No, that's not Patel's. I was gonna say, is that on Patel's? See, it looks different versus, well, no, it don't either, does it? Are those his lips? Can you tell? Are those his lips? Or what? Okay. What I was going to say was, does that look like a confident man to you? Does he look like he's going to get caught? Oh, don't you worry, honey. They spell it all kinds of ways. We answer to a lot more. I'll be good. I'll be good. Why would they take her, though? Well, ransom. Philip says, look at that glove up close to the camera. Boxing glove, no fingers visible. Well, now that doesn't look like a boxing glove there, Philip. Those look like fingers. I think they are gloves. I got a couple pictures that show his hands. Marnie says she don't think it's a random attack. I don't either. Random probably wouldn't pick weeds on the way in. Miss Trudy wants to come on a road trip. We'll be going around doing a lot of meet and greet. Oh, yeah. We're going to have so much fun. I told you this is just the beginning, y'all. I am working I work around the clock. I was up all night the night before last, working at good segue right into the Patreon. Okay, so the other night I stayed up all night long, like I said, working on those videos because I found a ton of the court hearing footage, testimony, stuff like that. So on the Kentucky Power stuff. So I worked, I got all my videos together, and then I started trying to upload them to Facebook. A couple of them went, but the majority of them are just disappearing as soon as I go to upload them. And now I don't get a what do you call it? A notification. I don't get a notification telling me, oh, you can't upload that or this or that. It doesn't tell me nothing. It just disappears, which means it's being flogged or whatever you call it on Facebook. And there's usually like several different reasons that they'll do that. From what I understand, because I've researched it, from what I understand, if it's a sensitive topic, or other things like branding, like if I put my Hillbilly Crime on, but I took the Hillbilly Crime off and tried to upload it without my brand stuff on there, still disappeared. So that means that there's a lot of censorship regarding some of these issues that we're looking at, and Kentucky Power and the rate hikes and the rate increases. It blows my mind that is what Facebook is censoring, but it is. It's public comments, it's outrage, stuff like that. So, but Patreon does not. So, what I did was today, I worked all day today. I went over and I started, there's going to be 2 podcasts. So now we've got Hillbilly Crime Time will be one podcast over on Patreon, and it's already uploaded to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that. We've got all that connected. So we're already hooked up there. So if anybody's out driving around and they want to listen to Hillbilly Crime podcast on Spotify, honey, you sure can. I have to get some of our shows added in there too, but we're going to stick all of our court footage and all those kinds of videos. We're going to have 2 podcasts. You're going to have one that is episodic. So it will just be like episodes. Now that one is going to be free. There's not, because over on Patreon, there's several different tiers. You can just be a free member, so you don't have to pay anything, or you can be you'd have a little bit more access as a member. We've got the Hillbilly Beat, which is just kind of like a newsletter type thing, it's not really a newsletter, but it's an article-based thing. And then you have, and it's just $5 a month. And then you've got the Hillbilly Crime Insider, and that's the top tier. $10 a month, and you have access to everything. $5 gets you to the Hillbilly Beat, and that's it. And then the Insider gives you everything, and then we've got the free section. So, and then the other podcast is going to be a serial podcast. So whenever we are covering like the Mickey Stein's case, stuff like that, where anything that we are going to have like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, anything that's going to have more than one episode will go under that one. And that one will be a paid podcast. So you'll have the free one, and then you'll have one for people that just want to get a little bit more deeper into the into the woods with us. And that kind of filters out all the trolls. So make sure you come and check us out over on the Patreon. Crystal is always so good. Her and Marnie are always so good to put our links in the chat. So make sure you go to the chat. And then the QR code up in the screen, as always, will take you to our Facebook page. All right. And so getting back to this, the very last missing element that I put together was the timeline of the suspect's movements. So no footage of the suspect entering or leaving the home. Only the porch stills. So I think that the FBI probably has a lot more than what they've showed us. They've just showed us, what they could. So which missing piece do you think is the most suspicious? Because in every true crime case, the gaps are where the truth hides, right? These are the unanswered questions that law enforcement has not addressed. And if you're watching this, I want you to ask yourself why. Why? Which piece do you think is the most suspicious? All right. What about approach routes? What do y'all think? How do you think he got here? How do you think he got there? Thank you, Miss Cindy. Look up Professor NEZUT video today. He has an AI composite comparison off the camera of that guy. All right. Professor Nez UT. What am I looking him up on, Miss Cindy? On X or what? Did you say which platform to look him up? Miss Angie. I wrote 40 pages. YouTube removed it. EJ. I'm sorry, Miss Angie. Send it to my messenger or something. Bless your heart. I'm sorry. Yes, thank you, Miss Marnie. There's our Patreon link. Hot in the desert in the day and cold at night. Well, that's what I heard. Miss Colleen, Fredo was the dumb one, and this guy is pulling a plant to block the camera. Could there be more than one? Now, we're just seeing this guy. You know this guy, he's not a big guy. He didn't carry that little woman out of there. And she probably didn't walk. If she usually carries a cane and she can't walk very well, and you've got blood, her blood, and those were some pretty big blood droplets. Could there have been more than one person? If there was, I think that they would have released it. Don't you? Or maybe not. Maybe not. Old Dad says they don't have a clue. That's why they're releasing the pictures. Very, very good point. Well, President Trump told us. He did. Dave says it sounds like the McKinney case. Video evidence, not existent. Mr. Clifton, did you just make one heck of a great point? Yes, you did. Old Dad says the flowers seem like some kind of a clue. Philip says the FBI will not report on latest findings and know the perps are listening. Oh, hello, Miss Denise. Hello, True Crime Buds. Hello. Nancy is 150 pounds. So it took at least two to carry her out. Absolutely. Yeah. She was about 5'2", I think they said, and 150 pounds. She was not a small, tiny woman. 150 pounds. And if she was dead weight, which we don't know, but if she was dead weight, and that could be knocked out, that could be anything. They say that that's a lot heavier than somebody who, is in control of their limbs and their body. If they're just, completely limp, you've got arms to deal with and you've got legs to deal with, if the person is not in control of their self and not in control of their body. And that dead weight is really hard for somebody to manipulate and carry and stuff by themselves anyway. Kentucky Grammy, she may have had a wheelchair and he had a car there somewhere. Well, now that I hadn't thought about that. She could have had a wheelchair in there in the garage or something. Yeah, now that's true. I had not thought of that. Hello, Miss Minnie. Number 1. Why have an 84-year-old woman living in the boonies? Good question. She seemed like I'd live there. Man, I'd sure live there. Gosh almighty, that's an awful beautiful place. Could you imagine living in the foothills? The foothills of Arizona. Man. A white cargo van was seen close by a week before the abduction. A fireman, Carrie? Good point, Minnie. Thank you. Yeah. They could have threw her over his back. Oh, you know what? Think about that. That's a good point there, Miss Minnie. Let me pull up that blood again. Y'all just think if somebody was to throw somebody over their shoulder like that and say they were bleeding from the nose, they could have just had a nosebleed, or from their mouth, or, whatever, wherever it's bleeding from, it's coming from. If they were standing in one place, that could have happened. I could see a scenario or something like that happened or could happen. She could have even been laying there. She may have fell. She could have fallen right there. She could have coughed. Think about that. That area there where it's got those smaller particles. That could have absolutely, that could be, like, think about that. Somebody was there, they cough. And when they do that, you got a lot more smaller particles that would come out besides the big one, the big droplets. And that's what those look like. Those right there at the front, closer to the bottom of the screen, those are straight down. You can tell they are perfectly round. They're perfect circles. And they're the same size. Look at them. Look at them. They're all the same size. I just took a screenshot of the video whenever they were playing the video over there at Fox. And so I took some screenshots while they were playing the video. That's why it's got that on there at the bottom. But look at the size of those drops. And see, if you look over at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, there's the drops that you can see where it's dropped and it's kind of moved some. You see? You got that circle, and then it's got like an oval shape that comes out the side of it. But these over here on the other side, they're just straight down. And they're even all the way back there to the back. Those big round ones are different than that spray area. Miss Cindy, I posted the link. Here, he's here on YouTube. Who? Did you post the link in the chat? Miss Cindy? Follow the money. That's right. Miss Minnie says, too far from civilization. Philip, wasn't she wearing a help of fallen necklace? And her with mobility problems? Someone was negligent on that. Well, that's a good question. I didn't know if she was, if she had one of those necklaces or not. Let's see. So, what would we think his escape routes would be? What would his escape routes be? Here I had a side-by-side comparison that kind of just shows. Look at his boots. Look at his pants and his jacket, his gloves, his balaclava, his backpack, and the firearm. Look at his posture. Let's see. Was this entrance chosen for a reason? Could the suspect have seen the camera, or did he know it was there? I think he knew it was there. And we don't know what order these videos came in. We don't know if he came back to the scene. We don't know if he was there prior. We don't know if he took the camera down before taking Miss Nancy, or did he take Miss Nancy and then come back and take the camera? We still don't know. There's no vehicle footage. No neighbors saw anything that we have heard anyway. So this is the front of the house. You've got the desert on one side, and you've got the road on the other. If you were trying to sneak in you'd come from the brush. You wouldn't come from the road. You're going to come from, where nobody saw you. Brian Enton went in back behind the houses on one of his videos one day. Him and a law enforcement fella, I don't know who he was, but he took him out back and showed him how easy it would be to walk in from the desert and never be seen. Those cactuses are bigger than we are. Those cactuses out there, they are bigger than we are. Which route do you think that the suspect took? The road or the desert? All right, guys. I don't know anything else to show you guys. Would you let your mom live alone in her condition with no help necklace or burglar alarms connected to police and ambulance and fire? I told you I've got mine hooked up that way. If there was a fire or something, my security system will call 911. If somebody busted my door in, if it senses forced entry, it'll call 911. And it would send an alert to my phone. So you'd think that she would have that alert, but if they didn't have a subscription, maybe not. Kentucky Grammy says it was reported that it was the family home. Nancy probably didn't want to leave her home. Probably had never been bothered. Yeah, I doubt it. I bet you they ain't never had a bit of trouble there. That looks like a beautiful area. They're wealthy. That is not a poverty. There's no poverty around there, it don't look like. I mean, look at Savannah Guthrie. Very, very long career. It's not like she's just starting out. Savannah Guthrie's been, she's had a career for decades now. So it's not like it's new money, right? It's not new money. This isn't something, that they're just getting used to. Dave says, I'm glad we live a little bit beyond the middle of nowhere. Yeah, Philip, follow the money, honey. Follow the money. They said it was like a retirement neighborhood, mostly elderly. Supposed to be a good place to live. Oh, yeah. I bet. Minnie says, I blame her family. She was 84, disabled and alone. Let's see. Well, now I asked my mom about it. I asked her what she thought about her being on her own, living on her own and stuff. Now, my mom is the same way. My mother is not about to she is not about to go live with nobody. She wants to be independent as long as she possibly can. She doesn't want anybody to do anything for her. I mean, she has this one feller that comes and works for her all the time, but she still takes her own garbage out most of the time. She goes up and carries her own groceries down. She'll bring a couple bags at a time down them big stairs, and then she'll go back up and get a couple more, bring them down. I can't wait to live with her again. But we have to have a bigger place than this. No way. Cannot live in a small place together. No. Never could before. Angie, I love this YouTube channel. Well, thank you, honey. We love you. Love you being here. Philip says it could be a million wonders. Yeah. Donna, have you not seen the video? Well, let me pull this down and we'll watch the video one more time before we go. We will watch them again. I put them all, I went and videoed them all together. So now to me, that looks like him just getting there. Does it look like that to you all? Looks like he just got there. Them gloves. I see where you thought that, Philip. It did look like a boxing glove when he did that. But you could see his fingers there if you looked a little bit closer. But it did look like a boxing glove. I see exactly why you thought that now. I was like, why does he think that? And they do look like nitrile gloves, don't they? It looks to me like they've put nitrile gloves on over top of like winter gloves. At first, see, when I first looked at them, I thought they looked like just a pair of leather gloves, just regular leather gloves. But I think whoever you were that said that earlier, you are right on, honey. Those look like nitrile gloves, don't they? Look there, you can see the creases in them. Those are them black nitrile gloves. You can almost see his fingernails in that one. But he's got something on underneath them. That's not just. See, he looks like he's just walked through the desert. Could it be could it just be an illegal? How far from the border is this? Does anybody know? Can somebody Google that and see how far from the border is this little town? The first motive, money or papers that would allow access. Money, 3, money like insurance, and or had been changed. That explains why there are 40 minutes looking for them. Miss Donna, this is the kidnapper. This is the kidnapper, Miss Donna. They finally got the video footage from the security camera. They just showed that one little tiny excerpt there of him coming up. And then they show this. Oh, that's okay, sweetheart. We're glad you're here. I love watching old westerns. My dad was a western man. And I would always watch them with him. I loved watching them. I'll still watch them if one comes on. Philip, that's your story, and you're sticking to it, ain't you, honey? What all's he got in that backpack? That's my next question. Look how big that backpack is. He's got something in there. That ain't nothing. It's like an hour. 60 miles to the border. Thank you, Marnie. So it's about 60 miles or an hour from the border. See, you can see that balaclava there. Look at his face there. And this is one of the pictures that was sent out by the FBI. You guys are right. I kept thinking, man, I think these might be AI generated. They might be. But look right there. I don't think that that's Tommaso. I sure don't think that's Tommaso. Wow. Dave says it's an inside job, and I haven't a clue of who. Someone knew that place. You right, Dave. Yes, Miss Donna, they are showing a suspect. They finally got the video. They broke through, and they're not telling us how they actually got the video. They said, what did I say? They called it, let me see if I can find it real fast. They called it something. Let me see if I got it in my notes. Right, I forget what they called it. My dog sure does hear something or see something outside. That's what these old people need, are dogs. Honey, they ain't nobody get close to my house. My dogs are on it. they can see a rat across the creek. All right, so let's look and see what confirmed timestamps we have real fast on the timeline reconstruction. So what timestamps do we have confirmed? At 1:47, the doorbell camera was disconnected. The morning of February 1st, a masked suspect appears on the porch. 2:28 a.m., Nancy's pacemaker disconnects from the phone. Later, on February 1st, Nancy's reported missing. February 2nd and 3rd, ransom notes were sent to the media. February 4th, crime scene was retaped, so the crime scene tape was put back up. February 10th, FBI releases the covered footage, so that was today. Gaps to investigate. No timestamp on suspected footage, on the suspect footage. No footage of entry or exit. Just the porch. That's all we've got. No confirmed time of abduction. So they have not really said what time she was abducted yet. No explanation for the pacemaker disconnect. We still don't have any explanation for that. We do not know why her pacemaker disconnected. Don't know. Surveillance footage analysis. So the suspect his appearance, he's got mask on, a balaclava that covers everything. It covers his hair, covers his neck, it covers his everything. Gloves. Now we see that he's got, this guy came very intentionally You don't just show up and an accident happen dressed like this, right? Mask, gloves, backpack. What was in that backpack? What was in that backpack? I want to know what was in that backpack. It's so big. And when he turns around, you see it's really wide. There's something in there. We just don't know what it is. And a firearm. So he came prepared. His posture suggests to me that he's young, youth or inexperience, one of the two. His behavior. He covers the camera with vegetation and then he takes the camera. But we don't see that. We see him trying to cover it. Why, though? He doesn't look, at first, when he first walks through there, we see the camera on his head. Where's his camera went now? See, now he's come back. Now we see him with that balaclava, but he doesn't have the headlamp on no more. You guys notice that? Now his headlamp is gone. See? Oh, well, he don't. Yeah, see, he's got a headlamp there. But he keeps his head down, and you can't see it. See? Doesn't, unless, no, that's on his head. See, and he's got his hand cupped like that. What's he got inside of his, nothing. Man. See? What's in that backpack? What is in that backpack? Look how big it is. Interesting. Why return after he didn't make any attempt to disable the camera? He's just trying to cover it. That's what I mean. Could this be some big stunt? Could it be some big scheme? Will Miss Nancy come back home? Will we even see her come home? We're not finding a body. They've not found a body. And whatever's being communicated in these notes makes the family think that she's still alive. Her parents were wealthy. I'd say they are, or were. Miss Minnie, we have 360 on our phones and know where each other are at all times. That's amazing. Yes. People need to have it. There's also, if you have Snapchat has a locator on it. That's how all of our kids keep up with each other. Like the little group of friends, they all have each other on Snapchat. I can be going through Hardee's, getting them something to eat, and one of Alan's friends will call, be like, "Can you ask your mom to get me a pop?" Ask your mom to get me a pop from Hardee's. They know we're going through the drive-thru just by his Snapchat. William, something about all of this just don't sit right. Marnie. She had that home for 50 years and it was bought for $85,000 and now it's valued at $1 million. How about that for an investment? If people knew, and remember back in the 2000s, was it the 2000s when we had the Yeah, it was 2008, wasn't it? When we had the real estate crash. People were getting rid of everything. Maybe you can find it later. It also shows him walking up. Yeah, is this the one that you're talking about, Miss Cindy? Come on, come on. I've got all of the ones that I can find. Yeah, see, there's his gun on his. There you could see it real good, couldn't you? There you can see it real good. See, he touches it there with his hand. Miss Margaret, I'm so independent, I'm not giving up until I have to. Well, I tell you what Mommy said. She said, I'm going to do everything that I can for as long as I can. She said, I don't want nobody doing nothing for me. She said, I'm going to do it for as long as I can because you'll put me in a home. I said, I would not. I ain't going to put you in no home. No. YouTube. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Donna. Or Miss Cindy. Professor Nez. Let me try and find it up or pull it up real quick. There he is. Oh, okay. 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 I got you. Here it is. Okay, guys. We'll pull this one down and take it out, and we'll see what Professor Nez is saying.
If you missed my video earlier, brand new suspect, video footage. Right now, what you're about to see is a free footage of the suspect walking up some number, trying to find out who this, surrounding her absence, have been inaccurately described in some coverage. Okay. AI and the internet have been doing.
Well, let's see. We gotta. Let me mute him so that way we're not. All right. If anybody wants to go watch him, this is Professor Nez on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for telling us, Miss Cindy.
On Dominic Aaron Lee Evans. Dominic Aaron Lee Evans is a longtime friend and former bandmate of Tommaso Cioni, Annie Guthrie's husband, Nancy Guthrie's son-in-law. That is very eerily similar, because if you look at the facial hair on the chin there, you look at the eyes and the eyebrows, that is eerie. Suspect in the video that was released and this Evans character, you start to notice some very eerie symbols. We asked Grok AI to take the mask off, and that is what AI come up with. And it is really, really accurate as far as what the individual may look like. Again, AI technology is so advanced now. It's absolutely out of this world. It's doing all sorts of things in many, many different fields and many, many different industries. This doorbell photo showing a masked intruder who many say bears a striking resemblance to Dominic. If you look at the eyes, eyebrows, and goatee in that previous image I just showed you, and his close friendship, I want you to look at the gait here. I want you to look at the way this individual is standing.
See, I told you that.
And then I'm going to go back to the family photo. Okay, maybe this is reaching, but I want you to look at this.
I think he's too big.
There is Tommaso right next to Nancy Guthrie in this family photo. The kids are blurred out for a good reason.
You know, that's a really great point he just made there. I thought at first, I was like, he's too big. He's too big. No, that couldn't be him. No, he ain't. No, I'm wrong. She's only, what, 5'2"? If she's only 5'2", Tommaso's a short guy, isn't he? My wife died with one around her neck, William says. A heart attack took her before she could ever close her eyes. Oh, I'm so sorry. Philip, that's a tomato head. Kentucky Granny. Oh, yes. I understand Sweet Tater's way of thinking. I'm not hardly that age, but I have issues with mobility due to my bad back. I'm not leaving home until I'm ready. That's right, Miss Grammy. Bless you, honey. We plead the blood of Jesus over you for independence and that he will keep you for as long as you possibly can. Be independent. Philip says, yes, it's him for sure. Well, now, this Professor Nez sure did hit a lot on there, didn't he?
But I want you to notice something about the way he's standing. Look at the way that he's standing. Look at his shoulders. Look at the way that he's kind of hunched over. I don't know. Call me crazy, but is there some kind of, and why is he specifically standing next to Nancy? Does that indicate something about their relationship, the closeness of it, the engagement of it, the I don't know what of it?
I don't know. I don't think it's him because I don't think it's Tommaso because the mustache would be bigger. Don't you think? Look, he's got that mustache. He's got that great big old beard. If it was that picture, you'd see that beard. And you sure can't put a beard back on. And they've seen him. The FBI have seen him since this happened. And so if he had his beard shaved, they'd be able to tell it. Denise, it's only like an hour from the border. Well, whenever I saw him walking, when he first walks up to the house, when he first walks up to the house, he just looks to me like he's been walking for a while. Like he's been walking. Double gloves and double mask and double pants and jacket. You're right. You are so right. He's padded up. You are absolutely correct. Person is much small. You hit that on the head. Something, it was going around in my head. I just couldn't stick my finger on it. But you did. That's right. Blood thinners don't make you bleed, but they do make you bleed split if you're cut or scratched deep enough. They make you bleed. Huh? What, Philip? Tell me that again, honey. They detained someone in the Guthrie case. Uh-oh. Let me check and see. Nope, they've not identified anybody as of yet. They've arrested the imposter, the ransom. They have arrested, but or at least I haven't found it. If you found it, send it to us. Inside, somebody's got some inside information on here in Tucson. It says, my best friend's sister lives next door to one of Tommaso's bandmates. The police have been present all day, and we're getting updates that it's getting heavier. Well, that could be where the SWAT team and stuff went to. We don't know, unless we do know where the SWAT went. The police have been present all day. It's getting heavier. He's been missing for over a week also. I'll keep updating as I get more info. Holy cow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anything you guys get, send to me. Please. You can send anything to my messenger. Scan that QR code. You'll have my Facebook. Just send it to me through Messenger. You can always send me an email, hillbillycrime@gmail.com, and any other way. Make sure you go over there to our Patreon, because I'm getting ready to blow that Patreon. We're getting ready to use that a lot now that I have really gotten the hang of it. And I know what I'm doing over there. I love that platform. I absolutely love it. We have full control over there, you guys. Full control. We can go live. We can do videos. We've got articles. We've got so many different spaces over there. So they also have a Discord from there. But we tried the Discord. We did the Discord thing whenever the show first started. Most of us are older. We're not kids. We don't have kids in our viewers very rarely. Or I don't mean kids, but young people. Most of Hillbilly Crime's viewers are all older. And I'm glad. I'm really glad. We've got a great, great platform. Amazing bunch of people. I love you all so much. You are our family. You've absolutely become our family. 2 teen boys took another elderly couple. Oh, wow. Second beach gal. He lowers his head to help with his height. Well, that's what I was talking about with Tommaso. I thought that he would be a much bigger guy, and he's not. He's a very small fella. It could be. It could be. And if one of his teammates, I told you, I thought that whoever had done this just never in a million years expected it to be this big. Per Fox News, they have detained someone. Thank you, Marnie. Oh, thank you, Miss Cindy. Well, we're going to go ahead and go. We've been on here 2 hours tonight, y'all. Yes, Miss Denise, per Fox News, they said they have detained someone. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Fox News. Okay. Nancy Guthrie suspect ID'd as Los Angeles County employee. What? All right, y'all. I'm glad we didn't go yet. Look at this. Holy cow. It's breaking right while we are on the show. Here we go. Nancy Guthrie, you guys. Suspect ID'd as ex-Los Angeles County employee is accused of stealing unemployment benefits. Well, let's see.
Tonight, a Southern California man is facing federal charges after investigators say he sent ransom demands connected to the disappearance of the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. Fox 11's Laura Diaz is live in Torrance with this twist tonight. Laura?
Yes, Marla. According to prosecutors, they say that the suspect in this case admitted to making the phone demand just to see if he could get a response. But no matter how you look at it, it's just the latest chapter of anguish for the Guthrie family.
Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom.
That's Savannah Guthrie's brother, Cameron, in an emotional post today, pleading with whoever took his mother, Nancy. In addition to the devastating disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy, the Guthrie family is dealing with cruel hoaxers. We learned this Thursday that a South Bay man, Derek Kalala, believed to be in his 40s, was arrested here for allegedly sending a phony ransom demand to Savannah's sister and brother-in-law. This Thursday, we spoke to Kalala's parents who live in this Torrance house. They declined to do an on-camera interview, but they told me while they really didn't know anything, they are, of course, concerned for their son. This federal complaint filed in Arizona lays out the details. The phony demand was sent by text message using a prepaid burner phone. It said, "Did you get the Bitcoin? We're waiting on our end for the transaction." But apparently, Kalala didn't cover his tracks. He was discovered by investigators through his email address. Also, there's another apparent Southland connection. Tonight, Fox 11 has confirmed Kalala is the same man charged by the LA County DA with stealing nearly $10,000 in state unemployment benefits last fall. Kalala is due downtown tomorrow in a courtroom on those ransom charges. Sending it back to you, Marla.
So I know you had interaction with Kalala's parents tonight. Do we know where Kalala himself actually resides?
It's my understanding that it's somewhere else in the South Bay. I know there were some reports, possibly Hawthorne. His parents were not forthcoming. They were actually very polite to me, but said you would have to speak to his wife about any more knowledge of this. But as any parent would say, they were concerned for their son. But when I went up and down the street trying to talk to people who live in this neighborhood, they didn't know who he was. They had never heard of him. But that would, of course, be explained by the fact that it was the parents who live here, not the actual suspect.
Right. Okay. We'll follow up tomorrow when he's in court. Laura, thanks so much.
Oh. All right. Now that's the only one that I see. Here's one. Here's another one. It says, where am I at? Okay. Well, this one says ex-FBI agent thinks suspect in Nancy Guthrie case may have been identified. Gregory Vecchi. Can y'all see that? Sometimes I have to exit that and then go redo it. So that way it doesn't. Shut up. Gosh.
First off, I'm not convinced they don't have a number of suspects. They're simply not going to disclose it until they're ready. So there's that, operational security concern that we have in law enforcement, is that you don't give out information unless you're ready to give it out. The degree of confidence is really the thing we have to look for when they're willing to say, hey, we have this, right? So let's say, and you've seen this in previous cases where they don't have any suspects, and then they finally found someone, and they say, okay, well, all we had is this guy walking, and he's in dark clothes, and he's got this weird gait, and we need help with that. Also, when you're looking at these cases, they look at the family as a suspect.
Support your immune system.
Of course. Okay. Just in case. That is not what I'm trying to do. Let's see. Detained. I wonder if it's the same person. Guthrie was last seen. Since then, there have been reports. The Guthrie, let's see. The reported ransom notes sent to TMZ and Tucson TV station KOLD reportedly asked for money in the form of Bitcoin. 2 5 p.m. deadlines to meet the demands, February 5th and 9th, yesterday, have passed. TMZ reported on the 10th, which was today, there was movement in the alleged Bitcoin account referenced in a ransom note, which was an alleged deposit of $300. On the night of Tuesday, February 10th, investigations involving the Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI have ramped up in the county. SWAT vehicles were seen leaving the sheriff's office just hours before the person of interest was detained. And then it shows these pictures. What we don't know. The person of interest has not been identified, and it's unknown if the person seen in the surveillance footage is the person of interest. It's a developing story. New twist. Targeted Scottsdale home invasion. Linked to alleged $66 million cryptocurrency plot. There was a body that was found on the side of Phoenix Road. I saw that this morning, and they quickly came out and said that it was not Nancy. They knew right away it wasn't. Let's look at this real quick before we get off here tonight. Could this be a bigger trend? Could this be part of a bigger trend of ransoms, kidnappings? We've not seen stuff like this here. Well, we have, but what we haven't seen is the social media reach. That part's different. Crime, kidnapping, ransom, stuff like that, that's been happening all over the world forever. We're just not used to it so much here. Targeted Scottsdale home invasion linked to alleged $66 cryptocurrency plot. Look how young they are. 2 California teens targeted Scottsdale home to steal cryptocurrency. 2 California teenagers are facing felony charges after a violent Scottsdale home invasion where they allegedly targeted a family for $66 million in crypto. The suspects, identified as Jackson Sullivan and Skylar somebody, reportedly posed as delivery drivers to gain entry before duct taping and assaulting the homeowners. Investigators believe the teens were extorted into the plot. Police caught the pair shortly after they fled the scene in a blue Subaru. They were extorted into the plot. Look at her. Hi, sweet tater.
How you doing?
Pull your camera down there, Mommy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I gotta go let a cat in.
Okay. Well, you go right ahead, buddy. She came right at the right time, didn't she? Nancy thought the person in the house when she was awoken was her daughter, Amy. Well, I'm sure she probably did. I'm sure she probably did. Yes, thank you, Miss Cindy. Thank you for old Professor, whatever his name was, Nez. We're going to have to watch him. I'm going to have to watch him more. Let's show Mommy. Let's see.
So it was 2 teenagers, huh?
No, it's just showing one. Let me,
Oh.
yeah. Let's, let me pull this up and show you. So here's the video. They've pulled this video from, that, well, they didn't really tell us where. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I
And
read
look,
where it all was from. So I had a letter from somebody, and I read it, and it told all about it.
oh, okay. So you've done been updated.
Yeah, I knew that, but I didn't know if they found her.
They have not found her. You know, they've not found her. Now this guy here is one of the son-in-law's bandmates. He's in the band with
Mm-hmm.
the sister's husband. And
Mm-hmm.
so he was showing he has a burglary and some charges in his history, in his criminal history, that shows he's capable of it, I guess. And we were just getting ready to close it down. We've been on here for almost 2.5 hours. So
Well, I've been real busy today. I had Jason here helping me, and I bought me a bed to put in my living room right over here. Let me see if you can see it. See where my doggies are laying over there on my bed?
oh my goodness. Yes,
It's going to be one of them day beds. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah.
So I can sit there, and anybody else could sit there, and if I want to sleep, I could sleep there. And all my little doggies, when I took the couch out, they just was lost because their couch was gone. The least one, my little girl was the worst.
Yeah.
I got my couch on the porch. I'm going to be one of them women that puts a couch on the porch.
That's okay.
That's so my little doggies can continue to sleep on it when they want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I had to go buy me a mattress. So I bought me a mattress. I bought one of those, whatever they are, that are supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
Memory foam.
Colleen.
So I got it out here. It'll be fat by tomorrow. It's not very fat yet.
That's all right. Miss Colleen says apparently some people only get excited when they find Nancy. But I'm super impressed with how this case has been handled. Well,
me too.
I'm really glad that the FBI and the other resources came in and helped them.
Well, yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you, honey. Let me go look and see. I think we have. Here's the article. Thank you, Marnie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let me get over here and we will read this. Person detained for questioning in connection with Nancy Guthrie abduction. The Pima County Sheriff's Department with assistance from the FBI. Well, let's listen to him.
Correspondent Aaron Katursky leading us off with his late reporting here. Aaron, what have you learned about where this person was detained?
According to this law enforcement official briefed on the investigation, David, this individual was detained at a location south of Tucson. Law enforcement officials have obtained a search warrant to search a location associated with this individual. They are not at this point calling the individual a suspect or a person of interest, simply someone who has been detained for questioning in connection with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. And it came, David, on a day of a breakthrough. The first images of a subject seen approaching Nancy Guthrie's house in a mask and gloves. Those first images coming just hours ago. Tonight, for the first time, the FBI releasing chilling images and videos of a subject in the Nancy Guthrie disappearance. The video shows a masked man wearing gloves, a backpack, and with a weapon in his waistband approaching her front door. Authorities hoping the public will see the way this man walks, moves, his eyes, and that someone will recognize him. You can see the man with his hand in a glove trying to cover or block the lens on Nancy Guthrie's Nest Cam, using his other hand then to fiddle with the device. The man can be seen turning around and walking back to the arched entryway, looking down at the ground before grabbing brush. The subject, his eyes visible, walks back to the camera, appearing to tamper with it, trying to cover the lens. The images leave little doubt how terrifying it must have been for the 84-year-old grandmother with a masked figure, arms showing up in the middle of the night. Authorities know every frame could hold clues that could lead to this subject's identity.
You can see his eyes. There's a possibility around his mouth that there's some facial hair.
You can get a lot of information now, not only off of the gloves in front of the backpack, but also his height, his weight, that he may have had the mustache, the color of his eyes, potentially. Even though it is black and white, they may be able to go with the hue of his eyes.
And today, Savannah Guthrie quickly sharing the new images from the FBI on Instagram, posting, "Someone out there recognizes this person." And of her mother, she says, "We believe she is still out there. Bring her home." Sources told ABC News the Guthrie family was shown these images before they were made public and did not recognize the man. Tonight, the FBI says, after working closely with our private sector partners to continue to recover any images or video footage from Nancy Guthrie's home that may have been lost, corrupted, or inaccessible due to a variety of factors, the video was recovered from residual data located in back-end systems. Nancy Guthrie had a Nest camera at her front door. That company's owned by Google. And although you can record in real time, Guthrie did not have a current subscription to access the images. Google said it was assisting the investigation. Nancy Guthrie was last seen 10 days ago now, Saturday, January 31st, when her family dropped her home just before 10 p.m. after dinner and game night at her daughter Annie's house. It's not clear when these new images were recorded, but investigators say the doorbell camera disconnected at 1:47 early Sunday morning, and about 40 minutes later, Nancy's pacemaker app disconnected from her phone. Investigators say DNA tests confirm the spots of blood found at the front door were Nancy Guthrie's, and you can see that camera is gone. Over the weekend, the FBI spotted on the roof of Guthrie's home inspecting a different camera.
Are they able to get further video from that camera that they found above the residence over the weekend? If they're able to get more video, hey, maybe we'll get a car, maybe we'll get a picture of Nancy leaving the residence.
Tonight, this major break in the case comes after 2 deadlines passed from someone who claimed to be Nancy Guthrie's abductor. NBC reporting they demanded $6 million in Bitcoin. It's unclear tonight if authorities believe the person behind those demands was really the abductor, but the family had no choice but to engage, pleading for proof that their mother was still alive. That proof of life never came.
Return our mother to us.
And then Savannah and her siblings trying to reach that potential abductor by saying, "We will pay." They never heard back.
This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Tonight, with those deadlines passed and this new major break in the case, Savannah Guthrie saying of her mother, "We believe she is still alive," and she's hoping someone will recognize this masked man at her mother's front door.
He seems to be sort of disorganized about what he's doing. It looks like he's improvising at this point.
What's in his
movements,
backpack?
his
What's in his
actions,
backpack
to a certain
there,
extent, his gait, he seems to walk a little stooped over. Those are all things that potentially could be helpful in identifying him.
All right, let's
He
bring back
walks
in our chief investigative
scooped
correspondent,
over.
Aaron Katersky, with us live here for this West Coast edition of World News Tonight. Aaron, you broke the news a short time ago on the network that a person has been detained in connection with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. As you reported there in your piece, this comes just hours after the FBI released its first images of a potential subject, a person retrieved by that Nest camera on the front of Nancy Guthrie's home. But we should make clear that authorities are not saying if there's any relation between these two, or if in fact this person detained is the person seen in that video. All they're saying at this point is a person detained in connection with this case.
That's
First
right,
thing
David.
I
They are
noticed-
not saying the individual detained in connection with Nancy Guthrie's disappearance is a suspect or related at all to the video that the FBI put out as the public was digesting all of the video and heeding Savannah Guthrie's call to look at it, to see if they recognized anything. Investigators were working still behind the scenes to identify whoever may have abducted her. And the authorities were seen speeding off, both the Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI, to a location south of Tucson, where a short while ago, a law enforcement official briefed on the investigation told ABC News an individual was detained in connection with the disappearance and apparent abduction of Nancy Guthrie.
Well, we all did wonder after this major development of that video, that doorbell camera video that had been retrieved, the FBI working with Google to retrieve that video, if there would be calls into the FBI and the local authorities that would move this case along. We don't know for sure if that video led to this call, but of course tonight we're now reporting a person detained in connection with this case. And with just a few seconds left, Aaron, you're also reporting tonight that a search warrant is in the works to search an area connected to this person who's been detained.
They will search the location associated with the individual. David, that could take hours.
Aaron Katersky leading us off here on this West Coast edition. Aaron, thank you. There are also new developments tonight of the Jeffrey Epstein case. We have new questions about what President Trump knew about Epstein's sex crimes and when.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and end this one tonight. I sure didn't mean to stay on here for 2.5 hours. I'm so sorry, y'all. Thank you, Crystal and Marnie. Thank you for all you guys do.
This was an interesting time.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. The last night we did one on the Kentucky Power, and I was getting ready to start this big series on it. And one of my mods was like, "What? A series on Power?" And I was like, "Well, yeah. We can't do a show on Nancy Guthrie every night." And then this happened.
Something else good. There's crime all over the place.
Yeah. But this ended up happening today. And I was like, well, shoot, we've got to do Nancy Guthrie.
Oh, yeah. You have to be flexible. So, because when something like this breaks.
Yeah.
I still don't think she's alive.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
Well, she may not be. That could have been, they may have killed her getting her out of that house.
Well, that's what I'm thinking is that they could have ripped her skin, because you know how we old folks are. Our skin is so fragile. If you pull on us or pinch us or anything like that, you break our skin.
Yeah, but did you see the actual picture of the blood on the porch? Because
it was pretty big drops.
It was, and I don't think that it would have been that big if it was just something like a skin tear. But he had a gun. We've seen his weapon now. He had a gun.
Was it in his pocket or in his backpack?
No, that's it right there on his right where his crotch is.
Oh,
it's that white and black holster, and it looks like it's probably on his belt. It looks like a belt holster. And there's a little thing on the back side of that holster, and then the belt just feeds through it, and then you put your belt on, and then it's like a fanny pack type thing. Mm-hmm. But he's got it there in his front, and he's touching it, like he puts his hand on it right there. But it just made me wonder, maybe this started out as a ransom kidnapping. They were going to take this old woman, and he got in there, and she may have started to fight him. You know, I couldn't see you going with nobody willingly. I'd see you fighting.
Somebody come in my house and bother me, I'd be mad as an old wet hen. And I'd
you'd
give
be
them a good.
You would. You'd fight, and you'd fight, and they would have to hurt you to get you to quit fighting. Which, you know, that could have been what happened. You don't know. She may have had a gun in her house too. Did she have a weapon in her house?
But
what if she went to grab her gun and he shot her?
If she had died, they would have gone off and left her. They wouldn't have taken her.
Well, now that's a good idea too. If he had killed her, why wouldn't he just leave her?
Because he couldn't, you know, he wouldn't take her with him.
And at first, you know, I was thinking it's a family member, you know, somebody that maybe it's just something and they panicked, and after she was dead, and then they were trying to hide the body. This changes everything. This means they came there intentionally to kidnap her. I mean, he's got a full balaclava on. That's not just a face mask.
What is it?
A balaclava.
What's it do?
It's just a mask. It covers them all up. It covers his neck. It goes all the way over his head. Kevin used to wear them whenever he would get out and cut the grass and stuff. He'd put that on, and he didn't get grass all over him whenever he would cut it.
Mm-hmm.
He'd go up in the mountains, and he'd always wear his balaclava, so that way stuff, you know, bugs and stuff didn't get in him, mosquitoes. I mean, he wore his all the time.
I think it would be a great thing to have in the winter.
Yeah. Now, some people are saying they think this is cartel related, Mommy. What do you think?
No. I think now I've changed my mind. And I think that people that knew her was talking about who she was and this, that, and the other in the presence of people. And that guy just got an idea to do that because he knew she had a lot of money.
Well, Miss Cindy says working theory. It's bandmates trying to get money or paid, blackmailed by others. Well, and we just went and read an article over 2 teenage kids who were now charged with trying to kidnap extort $66 million in Bitcoin from a family. They went in and duct taped them up and all this stuff. They got caught, but they said that they were extorted into doing it. Well, you know how this big trend that's going across the country right now, it's probably the world, not just the country, but it's trying to get these young people to give them naked photos of themselves and stuff. And then they blackmail them once they've got the photos. Do you want me to send this to your church? You want me to send this to your parents? What about your school? We're going to send this to your in-laws. We're going to send this to everybody in your town.
Well, who would care?
Well, a lot of kids are unaliving themselves over it.
Oh, well, I'm sorry
that trend
him that way, but you know, showing naked pictures of somebody ain't nothing today.
I know, but kids don't understand. They think that everything is the end of the world. You know, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world.
Maybe I should post some naked pictures of me. Just to show that it ain't nothing. If we all posted naked pictures.
Oh, sweet Tater, I love you.
And then it would just be, you know, and then that wouldn't give them anything they could hold over people.
That's right, Mommy. You're so funny.
It would be, who cares, you know? Did you see my bed? Could you
No.
tell it?
Yeah. Well, I didn't notice it until you told me.
Well, I mean, could you see it after I told you?
Yeah, I see it.
Isn't that cool?
It is. It's very nice. You're getting like me, sleeping in the living room. But you've been
Well, I
there.
don't know. I got a bed, but I made it to where I could sleep there if I wanted to, you know. But
Yeah.
the mattress is not poofed up enough yet. It'll poof up by tomorrow. But at least my little doggies aren't afraid of it now.
Oh, were they afraid of it?
Yeah.
Miss Cindy says, I hope it's not a political distraction, but evil will go to any lengths to advance their plans. That's right. That's absolutely right. And Philip says, why did she take an Uber to dinner at Annie's and then brought back to the son by the son-in-law? That's right. Thank you, Philip. This is what I asked earlier. Did anybody know who exactly they said dropped her off the night before? I couldn't remember if they ever said who did it, who was the one that actually dropped her off, because we don't have any proof that she was ever even dropped back off. The last time anybody saw her, other than Annie and her part of the family.
Yeah, but you know that if they got off of her, you know, off of whoever it was, the picture of that guy at her door, they had pictures of, they can get the pictures of her being dropped off too. So they know when she got dropped off.
They just haven't released any of that yet. So I'm really anxious to see that.
They're just releasing the big stuff right now. That they were able to get some information from her account with the help of whoever, Google, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know, anytime, whenever they do like a search warrant and people have deleted messages or emails and stuff like that, it's usually there because it's the way that it goes away is it gets rewritten over top of, like,
yeah, so it's there. That's right. But so it's all there until the computer uses that space, you know.
Yep.
And it might take years for that to happen.
Yeah, just depends. Yep. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pray. Thank you, Jesus, for another day being able to come together in your name, Lord. Every single day is a day that the Lord hath made, and we are to rejoice and be glad in it. I praise you today, Lord. I'm so thankful for your peace that passes all understanding. It don't matter what's going on in the world, Lord. I love you. I'm so thankful for you in my life. I'm thankful for the protection and the hand of favor that I feel every single day that I wake up. As long as my eyes open in the morning, I'm a blessed person. I'm just so thankful, Lord. So thankful for today. I lift everybody up to you, Lord. We especially lift up Nancy Guthrie to you. We lift up her family. We pray that you will bring her home, as well as all the rest of the people that are missing, Lord. We just pray your peace and comfort down over top of those people that need you tonight. We pray that you will pull them close to you and just help them to feel your presence. Help them to feel your love, because God is love. Thank you, Lord. I pray that you forgive me for my sins, Lord. I fall short every single day. I struggle with unforgiveness. There's some things that I've held on to for years, and it's just hard to let it go. I pray that whatever's inside my heart that is not of you, that you will remove it. And I pray that you put it in them pigs, Lord. Stick it in them pigs. Take it out of me and put it in them pigs. I praise you, Jesus. I praise you, praise you, praise you. Thank you, Lord. I pray that you'll go with us tonight and bring us back tomorrow at the appointed time. Until then, we give you all praise, honor, and glory. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Yeah, last night, was it last night or the night before? We were let's see, Angie, turn on Enton, breaking news. Money is moving. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here, y'all. We've been on here long enough. We'll go watch Enton. We'll go watch Enton. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night, sweet tater. I love you.
Good night, Elizabeth. I love you.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
From hillbilly crime, you
Can't hide from hillbilly crime.
You may not know that there's a crew in town. The head hillbillies are making their rounds. Small town whispers loud and clear. The sheriff shot the judge in his chambers chair.
Sheriff got a secret he won't keep. Judge shot dead in his disbelief. A lot of people have some stories to tell. Dog passed away, get the sound of a shotgun shell.
All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Neighbors hide behind their blinds. Whisper tales of troubled minds. Skeletons covering the mountainside. A treacherous reality in the pines.
Winter reveals the hidden lies. Moonlight couldn't match the cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise. All the sea